What's up, guys? Hope y'all are having an amazing day. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about one of my favorite cameras, one of my favorite purchases that I've made this year. So let's get right into it. As you guys already know, I went on a trip to Portugal, and before the trip, I wanted to get myself the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. One, because of the trip, and also two, ever since it's been released, ever since I've seen other creators on YouTube use it and make reviews about it. Ever since my friend Dave got one and I got to play with it a little bit, I knew it was no-brainer. I really wanted one. So I made the purchase, and I'm so glad I did because it really helped a lot on this trip, and I want to talk about it. I want to share with you my experiences, my settings, and why I really think everyone on YouTube or any creator should have this camera in their kit. I was thinking about, the pros and the cons, writing them down to tell you guys, what I love about the camera and what I do not love. Honestly speaking, I wrote a lot about things that I really like, but then I was thinking about things that I don't like, and I couldn't come up with anything. I mean, there is a few things that sometimes it's annoying, and I'll talk about it. I don't see them as cons, but maybe if you think they are, let me know in the comments below. Now, the first thing that I want to talk about is the fact that the camera shoots 4K, 24, 30, 60, 50, and 60. You can also downgrade to 2K if you want. You can also shoot at 1080 if you want. And it's really great for that. A small sensor, a small camera like that. The image quality, and I love the image that comes out of it. On top of being able to shoot 4K, you also have 10-bit log, which is really great. The D-log on this camera is amazing. Love to have control about the way my footages look, and so shooting in D-log is really great. Now let's talk about the size and weight of this camera. As you can see here, it is a very small camera, fits right here in my palm, and it's not that heavy. I can literally, and this, which is mostly what I did, have this on my finger all day, carry it all day. With the size of this thing, maybe you might say, oh, how is the battery life? I mean, it's amazing. There was not a single time that I used this camera that I had to recharge, or on the same day, or like whilst I'm out shooting. This thing has a really great fast charging. Even if you run out of battery and you need to charge it real quick to continue your shoot or whatever you're using it for, it's amazing. It's really amazing. Like I said, I had never had to charge it whilst I was out shooting with it. However, when I'm back home, or maybe sometimes when we end of the day, when I want to plug it in or something like that, even if this thing is at 30 or 20 and you plug it in, by 10 minutes, maybe less, it's at 80% already. It's not something that when I'm taking out, when I'm leaving the house and it's fully charged, that I'm ever gonna worry about. If you also want, and if you are able to purchase the creator kit, it comes with all other stuff, including an external battery that you can plug in here to give you more battery life if you want. I purchased the regular, so it didn't come with the microphone. It didn't come with the external battery pack. It didn't come with the tripod legs that the small one that you can attach to it to even make it longer. It didn't come with all of that. So, and I'm not worried. I don't feel like I am missing anything. I mean, it would be nice to have the microphone, which eventually I am going to get. But other than that, yeah, battery life, fast charging, really amazing. One of the things that really amazed me was the magnetic filters system. This is even really great because the filters are just so small. I can only imagine if you had to screw it on and screw it off. That would have been a really headache. So I really appreciate the fact that it's magnetic. You can stack as many filters as you want, and you don't have to worry about it. It came with 4 filters. It came with one CPL filter and then 3 other ND filters. And to be honest with you, that's all you need. That's all I need. But also, I always have the CPL on, even if I'm in indoor and the light is whatever. I still have the CPL on. I never take it off. And whenever I go outdoor and it's too bright outside, I just attach the 64 to it. I haven't had to use the other ones. I don't even think if I need it, but it's nice to have just in case you are in a situation where you need it. You can just put them in here because inside this case, it has the magnets and a dedicated spots that you can put the filters. Genius, amazing feature. It on the top it says like wide angle, so I'm guessing if you buy the creator kit, it comes with a wide angle filter that you put on top to make the view even wider than what it is. I don't have that, like I said, but it's a place for me to put more filters. So all the 3 filters go in here, and I don't have to worry about having another case that I have to bring with me. When I bought the filter, it came with a case that the filters were in. I just took them all out, put the filter somewhere, and put all the case somewhere, and then put all the filters in here. And even with the filters inside this case, I can still put the camera in here and carry it. And talking about carrying it, this case is amazing. You know, it's a solid hard case that I don't have to worry about having the camera in here, throwing it in my bag, not worrying about scratching the screen on here, scratching the lens or the filter or anything. So it's really, really great. The one thing that, like I mentioned, I would love to have is the microphone. And I've seen people attach the microphone on here and use it or even attach it to themselves. Mine also came with this extension thing that you plug it in here, and it just gives you a little more length to it when you are holding it, because I don't have that of a big hand, but also sometimes without it, especially when you're holding to record and all that, it feels like I don't have a place to rest my pinky finger. So it's nice to have this little extension thing, and it just snaps on with these 2 lugs, snaps on the side, push it in, locks in place, never comes off. Really, really, really strong. And it gives you additional, just a little bit of a length to it to be able to hold it and be able to record. And like I said, most of the time I just have this on my finger or around my wrist, and I just have it like that. Taking photos, taking videos and all that, I can just drop it like that, take photo if I want to, and grab it. It has an inbuilt microphone, and it's very, very decent. When I was in Portugal, I vlogged with it, and you've seen some of the results. And right now, I'm recording on the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. And as you can see, it doesn't sound bad. I mean, you guys let me know what you think. So that is it. The microphone, you can either record it front face or you can record front and back, just in case you're talking to somebody, because you can flip this camera around and record it whilst it's recording. You can flip it however you want. So if you are filming yourself and there's somebody you are talking to, you can just also have the microphone front and back, and it will pick up. Or you can have it to be all, and it will just record everything and around you, the surrounding and all that. But so far, yeah, let me know what you guys think about the sound that is coming from here versus this Sennheiser that I'm using. This camera is so easy to use. Once you flip the screen on, it turns on the camera, and then you hit record and it's recording. Now, when we were in Portugal, I was shooting some photos. Anna was assisting. She was also taking some photos, and we had her mom with us, and I just handed her the camera, showed her where to push for record and where to push to stop recording. Just handed it to her, and she was taking behind the scenes video for us. And again, she didn't have to do anything. She's not a photographer. She's not a videographer. Anybody that you hand this camera to, they should be able to operate it without any struggles or anything. My little girl, my daughter, was here a few weeks ago before I went on the trip, and she took this camera and started vlogging. And she, like I said, I didn't have to tell her anything. All she had to know was where to push to record and where to push to stop recording. And she was like vlogging around the house. And it's easy to use. Whoever you give this camera to is going to be able to shoot with it and use it, which is really, really amazing. Now, talking about the pro features and the non-pro feature, I have it set to pro. And so the way I have set this camera is once you swipe to the left, it brings out these options, and you have the option to turn on or turn off the pro feature. I have it to pro, and then I'm using manual. I'm using manual settings, so I am not letting the camera do anything auto for me, except the ISO, which I'll talk about. Now I have it set to manual, and I have the EV set to -0.3. This thing is really, really great in low light. So if you're shooting anywhere and there is a really bright sun or light source, you can, bring that exposure down just to get some details in the highlights, and you can bring up your shadows in post. I'm always shooting 4K 24, so because of that, my shutter is at 1/50th. And then for ISO, I don't want to worry about that, especially if you're vlogging or if you're shooting where you're going, indoor, outdoor, when the sun goes down and up. I've set the ISO from 50 to 3200. And then for white balance, for the most of the time, even on my main camera here, the SL2 that I'm recording on, it's either at 5500 or 5600. So sometimes I would just go in and put it at 5600 and just leave it as that. But now it's on auto. I don't remember why it's on auto, because most of the time I had it at 5600. I don't use the gamma effect at all. I don't need it. So I have that off. And then for the color, like I said, I shoot D-Log 10-bit and I leave it as that because I want to have control over how the footage look and color grade it. And then the autofocus mode, I have it set to continuous. You can choose either continuous or single. Sometimes I've used it as single before, but for the most part, I like to use it at continuous. It does pretty decent. I'm not shooting anything that I'm moving the camera way so much that I cannot rely on the autofocus. So for me, it works great for me. I've never had any issues on focusing. So far, yeah, that's how I've set the camera. Once you swipe up the screen, it brings up the resolution. So you choose either you want to shoot 4K, 2.7K or 1080p, and then right underneath that you have your frame rate. So your 24 FPS, 25, 30, 48, whatever you want to shoot it at. I think it's a really great camera. I think any photographer, videographer, anybody on YouTube, you should have this camera in your kit. They're almost the perfect cameras out there. And I just also want to say, all this is coming from me. DJI is not sponsoring this video, I wish, but they are not. I bought this camera with my own money. Nobody is telling me what to say in this video. All of this is coming from my personal experience and using the camera. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I have a lot of videos coming up. And then also, like I mentioned in my previous video, I have launched my Patreon account. So if you like to support the channel, if you like to support me even further than just subscribing or watching the videos, please, if you like to check it out, I really appreciate it. I'll see you in the next video, but until then, bye-bye.